this video, chances are you are having the same problem that I have been having for the past 2 years with that Furrion rooftop air conditioner. So, because I know that you are probably here and you're trying to troubleshoot your problem, I'll get straight to the point. My air conditioner was freezing up, and it has been since pretty much day one since I've installed it on the top of my cargo conversion. But I installed it myself, and I don't know much about air conditioners. I had to buy the electronics separately, probably chances are the same as you, because you have to buy this stuff separate. So I've always thought that my freezing up problem was something due to either one of two things. One, I didn't know how to install something correctly, or two, I've been doubting the entire time that I should have insulated the entire trailer. I only did my roof. I have 3 inches of insulation on the roof and none on the walls and none on the floor. Because of where I live, I didn't think that would be an issue. Recently, I went back and I put the Alpacool coating on the top, and it still did it. And so therefore I started troubleshooting more and more, and I finally found what I'm 99% sure is the solution, and it's probably your problem too if you've already troubleshot these other ideas. So first of all, when I started researching this, first thing, airflow. Make sure your coils are not dirty. Airflow will mess everything up. Two, the airflow between the cold air return and where the cold air blows, or the air return and where the air blows out into the camper. Make sure that you have a good separation of those two things, and I'll insert another picture here of what mine looks like, because I went back and added some foam or some cushioning between the two just to make sure that that was not my problem, and it was not my problem. So airflow was not my problem. The air getting mixed with inside of the unit itself was not my problem. Then several people had mentioned the fact that their problem was because of the room temperature sensor was in the wrong position on the unit itself. So mine is different. I'll insert a video or a picture here. I've extended that across the room, so that is not my issue. The reason I extended it across the room is because it was short cycling before, and I wanted to make sure that it was getting a true reading of the room, versus just what the air was right next to the unit itself. So finally, this is not something that I figured out. I put a post out on a cargo conversion Facebook page, and luckily somebody who's either a retired or a current professional HVAC heating and ventilation person responded back to me and told me what to try, and he was very confident in his suggestion, and he is exactly right. So here's what it is. So it's the freeze sensor that goes on the coil or on the fins inside of the unit itself to detect that the unit is freezing up. So mine would cool like crazy. It would work perfect until it froze up. And then once it froze up, and it would not turn off the compressor to let the fan run, to defrost. It wouldn't do any of that. You just had to shut it off or turn the fan on yourself and defrost it yourself, and then it would start working just fine again. So because you have to buy the electronics separate for this unit, you also have to install this freeze detection sensor, and long story short, I had mine installed wrong. So it comes with a little blue plastic thing. I'll try to insert a picture here. It comes with a little blue plastic piece to hold the sensor in place, and I simply had it touching the tip, or I had it touching up against the coil, and I thought that it acted as a thermocouple, like a thermocouple does, and I still believe that that's how it works. I'm not a professional at this though. And I thought you just had to have it touching up against there in case it froze up. I didn't know that it was using that sensor to cycle on and off, as well as using your thermostat on the wall to cycle on and off, or the room temperature sensor. And that's what it's doing, I guess. Because what I had to do was I had to move the sensor, the freeze sensor, to the correct position. And the correct position is in the center of your coils, about an inch down from the top. And what you have to do is you have to spread your coils apart and shove that sensor completely into the coils so that it is surrounded by those fins. And you're going to have to bend the stuff out of the way. I guess that's fine, but just bend them out of the way, shove that thing in, bury it in so that it gets a full, so it's fully surrounded by the temperature of that coil. And that's the only thing you got to do. So for 2 years, we've been dealing with this freezing problem. And within, 20 minutes after putting a post out on the cargo conversion page, somebody gave me a suggestion. So thank you very much, of what to do, and that works. So it's my understanding that what the unit is doing now is there's 2 things that are going to shut the compressor off and tell the fan to continue to run. It's either A, you meet the temperature in your room or in the trailer itself, and the sensor, your room temperature sensor, is telling it to shut off, or this sensor, the freeze protection sensor on the coil, is telling it, hey, you're getting ready to freeze, the coil's too cold, shut the compressor off, run the fan until you get the coil back to the right temperature. So anyways, I hope that this helps you, because I have been dealing with this problem for 2 years, questioning whether or not I should have insulated the entire trailer. I may end up coming back and doing that someday. I don't know. It's not needed for where I live, but I do sometimes camp in the winter, and sometimes in Tennessee it does get cold in the winter, cold enough that you need more insulation, but so far we haven't had an issue with that. So I'm hoping that this helps you. So, and if it does, please let me know in the comments. If I described something wrong, just let me know in the comments, because I'm not a professional air conditioning person, never claimed to be. I'm just a person who built my own camper and bought my supplies, and they haven't worked right since I bought them. And I was actually getting ready to get rid of this thing and put a mini split or something else on it. And I'm so happy that I haven't done that, and I found the answer. So anyways, hopefully this helps you. Have a good day. Leave a like, subscribe, question in the comments, or comment in the comments, or feedback, or whatever. So thanks, guys.